Good morning. My name is Sterling Connolly Chu. Welcome to Second Growth Homes. Today, we're here working on the roof of a 20 by 36 A-frame that we're building in Gustavus, Alaska. So what we're doing today is we're installing 6 inches of waterproof pink foam insulation onto the roof of the A-frame that you see here behind me. I'll take you around real quick. We got the other side done. You can see what it looks like. And then I'll take you through the process of doing it. I think this is just an absolutely awesome insulation method. Look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. And this actually is going to get plywood on top of these purlins and then roofing metal, and it's ventilated out the ends. So that is what we're doing here today. The A-frame's looking great. I got the videos of this cabin from day one. So if you want to see us starting at the sawmills, cutting these timbers, those videos are linked below. And then if you want to see us building the whole A-frame, assembling the A's, standing it up, sheeting it in tongue and groove, that's all linked below too, and you can see the whole thing. And click that like and subscribe button below my face there. Come back to YouTube, search in the search bar for Second Growth Homes, and you can come with us to finish this cabin 100% completion and see what it looks like all done. So these A-frames are simple, and I think they're really cool. They're honestly more like a timber frame than they are a stud frame house. So the frame is these big timbers that are exposed inside the house. So the A-frames go up, the whole thing gets sheeted in tongue and groove. Okay? And then we come in here and we do this insulation detail. So most of the roof, you can see the 6 inches of foam up there. The whole section of roof above these 4-footers has no thermal bridging. So what that means is that it's basically just a solid layer of 6 inches of foam. Okay? So the whole roof from those up is just one solid layer of 6 inches of foam with no studs or anything going through it, no rafters. And then the 2x4 purlins are fastened with really long, big timber lock screws that you'll see us use all the time. And that just gives you this incredible insulation job. So I'll explain. Thermal bridging is where the heat transfers through these boards to the outside of your house, which is what a normal like stud framed house with insulation in between these would do. With no thermal bridging, you get way better insulation. I mean, it's almost like just one solid seamless layer. It's awesome. So we did a little bit of a hybrid model here where we needed some more structure down here at the bottom of the wall to support the ledger, or I'm not sure what to call it, this board right here. Almost like a fascia board. It goes along there. And so we added just 4 feet of these. So we do have a tiny bit of thermal bridging coming through these, but it's so low in the building and most of the heat rises that it's just really not going to affect anything too much. And anyways, we needed to do it. So we're putting these 4-foot 2x6s on, and they're getting fastened with the 10-inch timber lock screws, and those are sitting right on top of the A-frame, the big timbers inside. So that screw goes straight into the 4x6 rafter, and then we'll hang a 2x6 on the bottom. So the idea here is that you're basically putting just a 2x6 border around the roof. If you're doing a normal house, like not an A-frame, you shouldn't need these 4-footers. You should just be able to fasten that bottom board into the rafters with these long screws. The way the A-frame works out is that when we get right here, there's nothing to fasten to. Okay, there's just how it works out. So that's why we had to add these. So The idea is basically that you just wrap the whole roof in 2x6 or 2x4 if you were going to do 4-inch, and then you put purlins on top of the foam to hold it all down, and you put your roof deck on top of that. And the ventilation is above the foam and below the roof deck. So most of the ones I've seen are ventilated at the bottom, and they're ventilated at the top, and the purlins run this way. For the A-frames, the way that we're doing it, we run everything this way, and it's just ventilated out both ends, and I'll show you that detail, and it's just going to be absolutely perfect in this application. If you're doing a normal gable roof, you could just put the border on like this, fill it with foam, and then you could run the 2x4s vertically, ventilate the ridge and ventilate the bottom. I did like 15 years of work with roofs where we always covered up the ridge with multiple layers of tar paper. And then since then, I've done about 10 years of ventilated ridges where the ventilated ridge cap goes on there. I'm gonna try to stay away from it for a while. I haven't really had problems with it. Like, I haven't been called back. Someone says, oh, my ridge vent is leaking or anything, but something about them. We got a lot of rain going sideways in Alaska, and we got a lot of condensation right there. And I don't know, they just worry me. So no ventilated ridge, super good 2-inch air gap ventilation going all the way through this thing. It's just gonna be awesome. So we'll go ahead and get this border on here today. And we'll start foaming.
Might have to put a little shim under this purlin or something. It's about a...
I saw that.
Just these two, or that small for some reason?
I don't think it's gonna matter. I think the foam will hold the 2x4s up. It's just like... I think on my side.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I love that big worm drive.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I cut through it. It's great.
Can you bring it out a little bit? It's like it's got a little crown in it.
The start to our box for the foam is complete. These rim boards here need to run all the way to the peak on both ends. So that one at the very end, we're going to add one all the way to the top. And after lunch, we're going to start filling this in with foam. This roof gets 6 inches of the 2-inch pink foam. You could use a 2x8 or a 2x10 or even a 2x12 if you're way up north in Alaska and you want to get 12 inches of foam on top of this baby. And the only thing there is that you probably have to custom order, not custom order, they make them, but you have to order these extra long screws that are like 16 inches or more, pretty long, but you can do it. So this cabin is gonna be super insulated for our area of Southeast Alaska. That basically unbroken 6 inches of foam over the whole thing. It's just, I mean, you can just imagine that. It's gonna be very, very easy to heat this home. building themselves A-frame cabins. It's so cool. They're like, hey Sterling, I saw your video. I've been wanting to build myself this A-frame cabin forever. You're totally inspiring me. Fucking sweet. I'll send photos. They'll ask questions. The foam is installed for the first 4 feet of the roof. And we're putting on our first purlins. So these are just 2x4s that go on the roof on the flat, and they're gonna go every 2 foot on center, all the way across the roof, all the way to the top. The first one's fastened with 4.5-inch timber locks into these little rafters that we added, and into this fascia, this rim. The rest of them are fastened with 10-inch ledger lock screws, or these 10-inch timber lock screws that go all the way through the foam, through the tar and groove, and bury themselves completely into the 4x6 rafters of the A-frame. Big screws covering the whole roof, fastening it down, gives you a really, really, really strong roof that's super resistant to tear off in wind. So here we go. Just about to set another one.
Come down, 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 down. Right there. It's got a bad crown, dog leg right here. Started with that board down there. Gotcha.
I don't know if the first one is 20 actually. Can't remember.
I'm not sure.
Put my tape on it.
I can hold it though. I can put a hand on it.
Grab my tape.
That's your mark right here.
See it?
Isn't that a little bit of a crown? Walk the dog a little.
things Justin and Punch do. The site work, logging, the clearing, they do all that. Then they do the full septic. Ryan said they drill wells, which I had no idea. A lot of different things. I've been wondering, I always see them rolling around together. Like one after the next to the trucks, whatever they're doing. I don't have a mark over here. So. Grab some more wood. Oh, pretty fucking good. Pretty good. So these are laid out so with the plywood starting here, the center of this would be at 2 feet, the center next would be at 4 feet, so the edge of the plywood sits perfectly on here. So the first 3 rows, just fasten with the 4.5 screws into our little rafters. And from here up, we just start throwing in full sheets of foam, back and forth, to get the 6 inches. And then when we put these on, the purlins, they're pre-drilled, and we run these 10-inch screws through everything and right all the way into the 4x6 rafters. So every 32 inches on layout of the A-frames, there's a big 10-inch timber lock screw fully sunk into those A-frames, and that's what holds the entire roof down onto the house so well. This looks great. That'll be fun.
Make it 18 3/4.
I think it'll be good.
18 3/4?
Yep. So after you get the second row on, you can start using those 20-inch blocks. So we just set the 20-inch block in there, throw a board down, make sure it's lined up nicely. We go ahead and fasten it down. Then every 3 or 4 boards, I'll measure all the way from the bottom and reset to make sure that I'm not creeping up, like getting above or below that 8-foot layout. Oh man. That's how we do that. It's pretty simple. On a normal gable roof, like I said before, you generally have a rafter under here if it wasn't an A-frame, and you wouldn't need these short pieces. You could just put the border on with the big 10-inch screws, but this is really nice. Gives it a lot of structure down here at the bottom. This is all local Sitka spruce timber that we actually bought from a local sawmill here in Gustavus. Pretty cool. It's basically indistinguishable from the material that I mill in Tennessee. Same thing.
Well, the hard part's done on this sucker.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna be cruising. Awesome. Well, next step is to start throwing full sheets of foam in here. We'll run those 2x4s out, and as you can see, it's really easy to work your way up the A-frame roof. You got lots of stuff to hold on to. Okay, it's a lot easier than roofing a normal house, believe it or not. It's one of the kind of interesting things about the A-frame. You think it'd be hard because it's such a steep pitch, but because it's so steep, and because you put these 2x4s on there, you basically just stand right there. My boots, the hard cowboy boots, they actually sit into the foam a little bit when I step down, and I can just walk all over this thing. Awesome. We got a lot more coming up. We're gonna do 5/8 plywood on this roof and then standing seam metal roofing. So if you'd like to come back and see us complete this whole cabin all the way to finish, get this roof all done, see all the details, please click the like and subscribe buttons below my face down there, and then come back to YouTube and in the search bar, search for Second Growth Homes, and you can come with us that way. Thanks for watching.